Some people carry light wherever they go, calm, grounded, unshakable. Others, the air feels lighter the moment they leave. This isn't bitterness, this is truth. You've lived long enough to see it. Not everyone who smiles means well, and not every hand that reaches for you is meant to lift you. Life's too short to hand your peace to people who drain it for sport. Some wear charm like armor, beauty like bait, and grace like camouflage. But behind it, they take and never give. Today, you'll learn the 7 clear signs of destructive women, not to hate, not to blame, but to see, because clarity is strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." I'll add this, and the quality of the company you allow near those thoughts. This is about protecting your mind, guarding your focus, and refusing to let emotional chaos rule your inner empire. The first sign, she's always the victim. And I mean always. Every story she tells ends the same way. Someone wronged her, someone betrayed her, someone misunderstood her brilliance. You'll sit there listening, nodding, feeling sorry, thinking maybe you can help. That's the trap. Her pain becomes the bait, and your empathy becomes the hook. But over time, you'll see the pattern. It's not about healing, it's about control. She rewrites every conflict, so she's the hero or the helpless, never the one responsible. That's how she keeps power. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But she refuses that truth. She'd rather shape reality to protect her image than confront her part in the chaos. You can't fix that. You can't save someone addicted to being saved. The only thing you can do is stop volunteering to be cast in her tragedy. Step back. That's not coldness. That's self-respect. Understand this? A woman who builds her identity around victimhood is not looking for love. She's looking for validation. The moment you stop feeding her sympathy, she'll turn on you. Suddenly, you'll be just like the rest. And that's when you must see it clearly. It was never about truth, only control. You'll start to feel drained, like you're walking on emotional eggshells. You'll question your own words, your own tone, your own sanity. That's how she wins, not through power, but through confusion. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But she reacts to everything like it's an attack. To her, peace feels like weakness, and responsibility feels like blame. Don't join her in that illusion. You are not her therapist. You are not her savior. You are a man learning to master his own mind. The moment you stop chasing her approval, the spell breaks. Her chaos only controls you if you let it. The second sign, she's addicted to drama. You'll feel it before you understand it. Peace makes her restless. Stillness makes her anxious. If life gets too calm, she'll strike a match just to feel something burn. To her, chaos is oxygen. She needs the emotional rush, the arguments, the highs and lows, because silence forces her to face herself, and she can't stand that reflection. You'll think you're helping when you calm her down, explain yourself, fix things, but that's exactly how she keeps you trapped, reacting, apologizing, walking on edge. Seneca said, "An angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes." She lives with her eyes shut, blinded by emotion, never by reason. She doesn't seek truth, only stimulation, and every time you engage, you give her what she wants, control. The wise man doesn't wrestle with storms, he observes them from shelter. Your silence is not weakness, it's mastery. Don't participate in the theater of chaos. Walk away before you forget who you are. Here's the truth. Drama is her currency. Conflict keeps her relevant, needed, alive. When there's no problem, she'll create one. When there's peace, she'll sabotage it. You'll spend hours trying to reason with emotion that was never meant to be reasoned with. And when you finally think you've reached calm, she'll pull the rug again, because peace exposes her emptiness. A Stoic man must learn this law. Not every fire deserves your breath. The moment you argue with irrationality, you surrender your power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. That calm is your weapon. Let her storms rage and burn themselves out." You are not her emotional punching bag. You are not a therapist for her self-inflicted chaos. Observe, breathe, detach. Let her noise fade into the distance where it belongs. A man who guards his inner stillness cannot be ruled by anyone's disorder. The third sign, she manipulates through guilt. This one is subtle, almost invisible at first. She won't demand or shout. She'll sigh. She'll go quiet. She'll say, It's fine when it's clearly not, and you'll feel it, that weight in your chest, that pressure to fix what you didn't break. That's guilt, and it's her favorite weapon. She doesn't have to control your actions directly. She just makes you feel wrong for living on your own terms. Cancel a plan to work on your goals. You're selfish. Spend time with your friends. You're neglectful. Set a boundary. You're cold. Every time you surrender to her moods, she gains ground. Soon you stop deciding for yourself. You start deciding for her approval. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If guilt runs your choices, you are not free. You are owned. And the most dangerous chains are the ones disguised as love. Here's how guilt destroys a man. Slowly. You stop doing what matters to you. You start explaining yourself, apologizing for chasing your mission, apologizing for your peace. Every "I'm sorry" chips away at your self-respect. You become reactive, cautious, hesitant. That's how she wins, not through force, but through emotional debt. You begin to believe that you owe her happiness, but Stoic discipline teaches otherwise. You owe no one the destruction of your own soul. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here means standing firm in your decisions. Even when someone tries to shame you for them, you can offer compassion, but never compliance to manipulation. Guilt cannot guide a man of reason. Every time you choose duty over drama, discipline over approval, you reclaim your strength. Remember this. Her silence is not your cue to surrender. It's your signal to stand taller. The fourth sign, she lacks empathy. And this truth hits hardest when life tests you. When you're strong, she's near. When you stumble, she vanishes. Empathy isn't about words, it's about presence. But she can't meet you there, because she's wired only to receive, not to give. Share your struggles, and she'll redirect the spotlight. Talk about loss, and she'll talk about her inconvenience. You'll notice that her comfort matters, yours doesn't. A Stoic man must see the difference between companionship and consumption. She's not there to walk with you. She's there to feed on your strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies here. Waste no more time hoping for warmth from a cold heart. Empathy can't be taught to someone who doesn't want to feel, accept what is. Walk away without hatred. She's not cruel because of you. She's empty because of her. You'll know she lacks empathy by her reactions during your lowest moments. When pain visits you, she becomes distant, impatient, detached. She'll offer empty phrases like, "You'll be fine," not out of care. But to escape discomfort, her concern ends where her inconvenience begins. This is where most men fail. They mistake emotional indifference for strength. But indifference without compassion is not strength, it's vanity. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. The woman without empathy sees no such opportunity, only obligation." And when compassion becomes a burden to her, you're already alone. A Stoic man doesn't beg for understanding. He observes, he accepts, he adjusts. When someone cannot meet your heart with presence, it's not your job to drag them toward humanity. Let her go. Keep your integrity. You can recover from heartbreak, but never from self-betrayal. The fifth sign, she worships the surface. Her values orbit around status, luxury, attention. To her, a man's worth isn't in his discipline, wisdom, or integrity. It's in his image. The brand of your clothes, the car you drive, the way others look at her when she's by your side. She's not building a partnership. She's curating a display. You'll notice her priorities immediately. Admiration over affection. Applause over authenticity. She'll say she wants a strong man. But what she truly wants is a stage prop that enhances her reflection. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, yet she lives as though enough is never enough." Her hunger isn't for beauty, it's for validation. And if you stay too long, that hunger becomes yours. You'll trade purpose for presentation, character for comfort, substance for show. Nothing drains a man faster than living someone else's illusion. At first, you'll justify it. You'll tell yourself it's harmless, that everyone likes nice things. But deep down, you'll feel the emptiness growing. Every gift becomes a transaction. Every gesture measured by how it looks, not how it feels. You'll notice she's never content. Every win fades too quickly. Every joy is temporary. That's because she's chasing shadows, not meaning. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking, but she can't grasp that truth. Her peace depends on comparison. Who has more? Who's watching? Who's admiring? And when her worth depends on the crowd, she'll never be still enough to love deeply. You can't build a lasting bond on ego and envy. A Stoic man must value simplicity over spectacle, because the woman who loves appearance will abandon substance the moment it no longer shines. The sixth sign, she cannot admit she's wrong. You'll see it early in small things, the kind of moments most people shrug off, but not her. For her, being wrong feels like death. She'll twist the truth, deflect, redirect, even cry, anything but take responsibility. And at first, you'll think it's pride, maybe insecurity, but it's deeper than that. It's a fragile ego built on fear, not wisdom. She confuses apology with defeat, and so she never grows. Every disagreement turns into a war of emotions, not reason. Epictetus said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.'" Well, that's humility, and she has none of it. A woman who cannot be wrong will never be right for you. Her need to win will always cost you peace. When you deal with someone who refuses accountability, you'll find yourself trapped in circular conversations, logic versus emotion, truth versus deflection. You'll present facts, she'll shift the topic. You'll speak calmly, she'll accuse you of being cold. You'll try to reason, she'll weaponize feelings. Over time, you'll realize you're not communicating, you're performing. Marcus Aurelius said, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake. I'll gladly change, for I seek the truth which never harmed anyone." That's strength, that's real confidence, but she's not seeking truth. She's protecting ego. Every conflict becomes about her reputation, not resolution. And while you're trying to build understanding, she's keeping score. A Stoic man learns that not every disagreement deserves a debate. When pride blocks growth, silence becomes your shield. You cannot teach humility to someone who fears it. A woman who cannot admit fault will turn every argument into a battle for dominance. Her goal isn't truth, it's victory. Even when you're right, she'll twist the moment so you feel wrong for proving it. And eventually, you'll stop trying. That's the danger. You'll trade honesty for peace. And that's a slow kind of death, Seneca said. Only time can heal what reason can't, but reason can't heal what pride refuses to face. She'll call it strength, but it's weakness dressed in defiance. You'll feel the loneliness of being unheard, unseen, and constantly misunderstood. The Stoic path teaches you to value truth above comfort. And when you realize that truth cannot live where pride rules, you'll understand the most loving thing you can do is leave. Not to punish, but to preserve your sanity, your peace, your purpose. Some arguments are meant to be ended by silence, not by words. The seventh sign, she disrespects your time. This is one of the clearest signs of disregard. Yet most men overlook it because they mistake patience for virtue. But Stoicism teaches discernment. Patience is noble only when it serves purpose, not when it excuses disrespect. The woman who constantly cancels plans, arrives late, or forgets commitments is sending a message. Your time is less valuable than hers. And the man who keeps waiting teaches her to believe it, Seneca warned. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it every time you wait for someone who doesn't value your presence. You waste a piece of your life. She may not mean harm, but her inconsistency costs you energy, focus, and dignity. Your time is sacred. It's the one thing you'll never get back. Guard it as fiercely as your peace. Those who truly care will honor both. You'll know she disrespects your time when excuses become patterns. "I forgot. Something came up. You know how busy I am." They sound harmless, but repetition turns them into manipulation. Each time you accept it, your standards drop, and her carelessness grows. Soon you'll find yourself rearranging your life around her moods, her whims, her availability, and when you finally confront it, she'll make you feel guilty for expecting basic respect. But here's the truth. Reliability is love in action. Consistency is character. Marcus Aurelius said, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" Don't get angry. Get clear. Her lateness isn't about time, it's about value. She doesn't respect your minutes because she doesn't respect your mission. A Stoic man doesn't chase people who keep him waiting. He simply walks forward, focused, free from those who mistake his patience for permission. When a woman disrespects your time, she's really testing your boundaries. Every late arrival, every broken promise, Every I forgot is a small probe to see how much of yourself you'll tolerate losing. And each time you let it slide, you train her to expect leniency, not respect. But Stoicism teaches you that your time is your life measured in minutes. Epictetus asked, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" That question should echo in your mind. The longer you tolerate inconsistency, the more of your mission slips away. A disciplined man does not chase. He does not wait endlessly. He moves with purpose, with structure, with urgency. When someone values you, they honor your time because they understand it's the essence of your existence. So, stop accepting apologies followed by repetition. You are not a backup plan. You are a man on a path. Act like it. Now step back and look at the pattern. Every one of these signs, victimhood, drama, guilt, vanity, pride, and disregard, share a common root: emotional immaturity. These women live as prisoners of impulse, while Stoicism teaches liberation through reason. You cannot build a peaceful life with someone addicted to chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Stay too long around emotional instability, and you'll start mirroring it: anxious, reactive, drained. That's how strong men lose their edge. Not through failure, but through slow corrosion. Guard your mind like a fortress. Don't open the gates just because someone knocks softly. Your peace, your focus, your energy, these are sacred. Once you trade them for approval, you've lost more than love. You've lost yourself. The Stoic man doesn't avoid emotion. He commands it. He feels deeply but rules wisely. Discipline in relationships begins with self-respect. You teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. Every time you ignore red flags, you reinforce them. Every time you excuse chaos, you invite it. The Stoics never feared solitude. They feared losing their integrity. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." That means choosing people who sharpen your focus, not dull it. If she drains your energy, mocks your goals, or treats your time like an afterthought, she's not your partner. She's your distraction. And distraction is the enemy of destiny. A disciplined man builds his circle like a temple, sacred, intentional, selective. You cannot elevate your life while surrounded by those who thrive on noise. Walk with people who value silence, honor truth, and seek peace. Anything less, and you're trading greatness for comfort. Don't confuse chemistry with compatibility. Choose character every time. The Stoic understands that love without respect is slavery. You cannot be calm in a cage built by manipulation, nor disciplined in a storm of instability. The modern world tells you to compromise endlessly, to fix what others refuse to face. But wisdom says otherwise. Peace requires pruning. You must cut away what poisons your clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Extend that to your relationships. If it does not bring peace, do not keep it. You don't heal chaos by hugging it tighter. You heal it by stepping into stillness and refusing to be moved by noise. The Stoic man's loyalty belongs first to truth, not emotion. He does not chase validation. He cultivates virtue. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to be loved by everyone. It's to live in harmony with yourself. When you master detachment, you master life. Stoicism doesn't teach apathy. It teaches alignment. You don't need to hate someone to walk away. You simply need to recognize that chaos and clarity cannot coexist. Epictetus said, "When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval." That's your compass. Stop searching for peace in other people's behavior. Start demanding it from your own discipline. You'll notice the shift. Your mind quiets. Your energy sharpens. Your purpose returns. Weak men chase emotional storms. Strong men build shelters inside themselves. And that's where real power begins, when no one's actions can shake your state. Protect your energy as if your destiny depends on it. Because it does. Every distraction delayed your purpose. Every boundary reclaimed brings it closer. You can't control others, but you can control who gets access to you. When you start setting boundaries, expect resistance. People who benefit from your lack of discipline will call your strength coldness. They'll say you've changed, and they'll be right. You've stopped being a source of easy energy for those who refuse to grow. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Don't argue. Don't explain. Just withdraw your attention." That's how a Stoic fights, with silence, not emotion. You'll find that when you stop feeding the wrong people, they starve of their own drama. A man who values his peace is dangerous because he's uncontrollable. He doesn't need approval to act. He moves by principle. Discipline makes him steady. Detachment makes him free. Don't just learn philosophy, live it. Your calm presence will expose everything false around you. And in that clarity, you'll see who truly deserves your time. Freedom begins when you stop negotiating your standards. You can forgive someone and still never give them access again. You can understand their pain and still refuse to carry it. That's not cruelty. That's wisdom. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." The same applies to relationships. Most of your pain doesn't come from others' actions. It comes from your refusal to let go. The Stoic man learns to accept truth without decoration. Some people are lessons, not lifetimes. Don't romanticize what disrespects you. Don't chase what confuses you. Don't justify what drains you. Detachment isn't running away, it's standing still while others chase their own illusions. When you stop trying to control what's outside of you, you reclaim what's inside. And that's when your discipline transforms into power. Quiet, focused, unstoppable. Understand this. Emotional discipline isn't about suppression, it's about direction. You don't bury your feelings, you command them. Anger becomes clarity, pain becomes strength, disappointment becomes data. That's what Stoicism really is. Emotional alchemy. The weak react, the wise respond. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every situation, every person, every betrayal is a mirror showing you where your control ends and your growth begins. Stop blaming others for how you feel. Start mastering the internal world. Because once you own your emotions, no one can weaponize them against you. The manipulator loses her leverage when you stop reacting. The victim loses her control when you stop rescuing. The drama loses its audience when you walk away. That's how you win, not by fighting chaos, but by refusing to feed it. Every emotional challenge is a test of control, not over others, but over yourself. The Stoics didn't seek perfect lives. They sought mastery in imperfect ones. When you face manipulation, pride, vanity, or disrespect, your job isn't to change the other person. It's to refine your reaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must build your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible." That's how you reclaim discipline, one decision at a time. Don't try to fix broken patterns in others. Repair the weakness in yourself that allowed them near. That's the evolution of a Stoic man, from reacting to reflecting, from rescuing others to rescuing his peace. When you learn to pause before responding, to breathe before judging, and to detach before deciding, you rise above the chaos. Control your reactions, and you control your reality. A disciplined man doesn't chase comfort, he chases clarity. He doesn't need people to be perfect, he needs them to be honest. When honesty disappears, so does connection. Stoicism trains your mind to see what is, not what you wish it to be. Seneca wrote, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." That means refusing to let deceit, drama, or guilt infect your peace. Most people drown, not because the storm is strong, but because they forgot they can swim. You are not powerless. You've just been distracted. Reclaim your attention, guard it like treasure. Every minute spent in confusion is a minute stolen from creation. The Stoic doesn't beg for clarity. He builds it through silence, observation, and self-discipline. When you can look chaos in the eye and stay unshaken, that's when you truly lead yourself. And once you lead yourself, no one else can ever rule you again. Here's the Stoic paradox. Peace requires war, not against others, but against your own impulses, against the urge to please, against the need to fix people who don't want to change. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom begins when you stop betraying your standards for temporary comfort. Stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Stop proving your worth to those blind to it. The more you argue with chaos, the louder it grows, the more you detach, the quieter life becomes. That silence, that's your power returning. Discipline is not about hardness, it's about control. You can still be kind, but never naive. You can still love, but never lose yourself. A Stoic man understands. Compassion without boundaries becomes self-destruction. Master that line, and nothing external can shake you again. When you stop chasing external validation, you begin to experience real peace, the kind that can't be taken, only surrendered. Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful than your own soul." when you free it from thoughts of pain, fear, or desire. That's the destination of every Stoic journey. Inner stillness. The world will always offer distractions, beauty, attention, luxury, chaos, but the wise man sees through them all. He no longer needs the world to confirm his worth. His discipline, his principles, his actions, they speak for him. You must reach that place where you're no longer swayed by flattery or shaken by rejection, where silence feels like strength, not loneliness. When your peace no longer depends on anyone's behavior, you've won the hardest battle there is. Because self-control isn't about denying emotion, it's about refusing to let emotion command your direction. This is where most men fail. They master the body, but neglect the mind. They can lift weight, but can't lift themselves out of emotional dependence. Stoicism demands both strength and serenity. You can conquer mountains, but if a single person's approval still dictates your peace, you are not free. Seneca said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." That's your real battlefield. Your reactions, your attachments, your fears. Every time you choose restraint over reaction, patience over pride, silence over argument, you win another invisible war. You rise higher in discipline and lower in ego. The man who rules himself doesn't chase what fades, and he builds what lasts: purpose, virtue, self-respect. That's the true empire. Not control over others, but dominion over your own emotions. Become that man, unshakable, disciplined, and grounded in reason. Because when your mind is steady, no storm can reach you. When you truly grasp Stoic mastery, you stop reacting to people. You start responding to life. Every insult becomes a lesson in restraint. Every betrayal becomes a reminder of discernment. Every loss becomes training for detachment. Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." That's not denial, it's dominion. You decide how much access others have to your peace. You decide how long pain stays at your door. You decide whether today is wasted on resentment or used for refinement. The world is full of noise, manipulation, vanity, and chaos, but none of it can touch a man who governs his inner state. The moment you stop reacting to the external, you become immovable. And immovable doesn't mean emotionless, it means unbreakable. That's what Stoicism builds. Not coldness, but composure, not distance. But direction. Your power is calmness under pressure. That's what separates a Stoic man from the restless crowd. When everyone reacts, you respond. When everyone panics, you pause. That pause is your sword and shield. It cuts through illusion and protects your peace. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Every difficult person, every test of patience, every betrayal is your training ground. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The Stoic warrior doesn't pray for an easy life. He prays for the strength to endure the hard one with grace. When you stop wishing for control and start mastering acceptance, you become unstoppable. Life will still throw storms at you, but you'll walk through them steady, unhurried, unbroken, unshaken. That's the quiet confidence of a man who rules himself. So, remember this. Discipline is not about control over others. It's about mastery over yourself. Protect your energy, your focus, and your peace as if they were sacred relics, because they are. You build your empire from the inside out. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. Make your ambition to live with such integrity and calm that no lie, no manipulation, no chaos can touch you. The world is loud, but your strength is silence. The world is unstable, but your discipline is constant. And the next time someone tries to pull you into drama, guilt, or deceit, stand tall. Breathe, and remember, a Stoic man is never moved by noise, only by reason. You are not here to react, you are here to rise. Protect your peace, guard your mind, and rule your life with the wisdom of the ancients. Calm, disciplined, and utterly free. If you've listened this far, it means something inside you is ready to rise. Don't just nod in silence, act. Take a hard look at your habits, your boundaries, and the people you allow into your life. Change doesn't begin with words, it begins with decisions. Be the man who protects his peace, who walks with purpose, who commands himself before he commands the world. Leave your thoughts below. Share your reflections, your lessons, your truth. Let this community of Stoic minds grow stronger together. And remember, wisdom means nothing without action. Thanks for listening. And until next time, keep your mind sharp, your heart steady, and your spirit unshaken. Thanks for listening. YouTube channel, Stoic Power Lab.